How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we've been in it for a minute. We've been winning for a minute. It's essential how you living for God. It's essential how you living in your mind. It's essential how you living for freedom. It's essential how you living with Sabrina. It's essential. 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 It's essential.
Good afternoon and welcome to another riveting episode of Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina. I am your host, Dr. Sabrina Jackson. I am the people expert. I help people with people, even if that person is themselves. I say it all the time that we think it's somebody else with the problem. It's really us standing in the need of some help. And so I do that, and I do that in a myriad of ways. I am a clinical therapist by trade. I am a life coach, a business coach, a speaker's coach. I created a model called Essential Colors where I assess people and find out why you do the things that you do, how you're wired, but then more importantly, how to work with, live with, love people who are wired differently. Oh my God, it's such an amazing thing. I'm an author. I am executive director of a nonprofit called Sabrina's Girls, where I work with teen girls who get in trouble for talking too much. And then I spend time with them, teaching them how to use their gift of gab for good and not for bad. And then, of course, you can see me every Monday on Fox 2 with Mental Health Mondays with Dr. Sabrina. And then, of course, we do hashtag Ask Dr. Sabrina, where you can ask your questions live. I write for two magazines. One is Beautiful Machine Magazine, and then also Career Mastered Magazine, which is a magazine for career women. That's a national magazine. I write something for every magazine that they release. And so, Beautiful Machine Magazine, they deemed me one of the most influential figures in Michigan. Wow, in Detroit, Michigan, whatever. That was nice. That was nice to be on the cover. And then this coming Saturday, August the 10th, I will be facilitating a grant writing training, and that training is called This Grant's for You. I love that title, This Grant's for You. And so we'll be talking and answering your questions about grant writing. You'll receive a workbook, and the workbook that I created has a glossary of terms. I think that is so critical because too often you'll hear a term, you don't understand the term, and so we'll have a glossary of terms for you. And of course, we'll talk about the 5 major components of a grant, the fact that you really don't write grants, but you write proposals, you respond to an RFP. RFP stands for Request for Proposal. It is in partnership with the Finkel Avenue Community Development Corporation, which is led by Pastor and First Lady Anderson over there at Finkel Avenue Church of God in Christ on the corner of Finkel and Linwood. You can go to Eventbrite and get your tickets. Yes, there is a fee. And then Oh my goodness, the Poscars are coming. The Poscars are coming. The second annual Poscars and Streaming Award ceremony is coming on Friday, August the 16th. And yours truly is one of the hosts with my brother from another mother, Charlie Langton. And I have to say this, Charlie Langton is the reason that I'm on Fox 2. It's because of Charlie Langton. Seeing me at a event where I spoke to attorneys, he was in the audience, and after I finished speaking, he ran over to me and says, "Oh my God, you're amazing. I'm going to get you on Let It Rip." And that was in 2012, and I've been doing something on Fox 2 ever since then. And I thank Charlie Langton. So we're going to have a great time on the 16th. You can get your tickets. They're $50. You can go on the website, and it's on Eventbrite as well. You can get your tickets there. But today, it's no different than any other Monday that we hear. One of the things that I say all the time is that life and death lie in the power of your own tongue. That's why the title of my podcast is Speaking Life, because I want people to begin to say positive things to themselves, about your life, about your journey, about your challenges, about things that may be a little challenging. And so I am very fortunate that I get to meet incredible people. I am so fortunate. I know, and I get to meet and get to talk with incredible people. And today is no different. Today, I have a sister, Dr. Ebony Stone. And she is a corporate executive. Let me just go down the list of things. A corporate executive, an entrepreneur, a practitioner scholar. I want to go deep into that. A practitioner scholar, a leader, a mentor, an author, a speaker, a coach. Boost an impressive resume with titles like Executive Vice President, Vice Chair, Owner, and Consultant. Despite her various degrees and certifications, at heart, she considers herself a determined girl from Detroit, striving to achieve her dreams and support others in doing the same. OMG. Throughout the past few decades, and when you see her, you're not going to believe that she's been doing anything for a few decades because she looked like a teenager. I'm just saying. She looked young. She looked young. She has led diverse teams across different corporate structures, igniting her passion for developing and coaching Black women to reach their full potential. Being a Black woman in the corporate world, she noticed the lack of representation and relatability, leading her to create a safe space for women embarking on similar corporate journeys. I absolutely love that. Career Mastered, the magazine that I talked about that I write for, that is a huge space that we talk about all the time. Dr. Lisa Wicker, shout out to you and all that you do for Black women around this country. Dr. Ebony has written a book. And I love books. Oh, my God, I love when people put their stuff in a book. In her memoir, The Power of the Pause. Don't you like that title? I can't wait to find out where that came from. Dr. Stone candidly shares her struggles in life and corporate America, emphasizing her journey to reclaim mental and emotional well-being through the power of pausing. It just made me want to take a breath. I love that. I love that. Through keynotes, group coaching, and workshops, she helps others facing similar challenges. Okay, so let's just start from the beginning.
Hello.
Hey! Welcome. Okay.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited. I'm so excited because I love the word pause. I love the word pause.
So, first, let me just say, thank you for that compliment. You said she looked like a teenager. Y'all, I turned 50 in April.
You're still a baby. You're a baby. You're a baby.
And I had to pause to think about that. But
you are a baby. 50. I remember when I turned 50. I am knocking at the door of 60. I'm right there. Oh, my God. I'm right there.
What a blessing.
Oh, yes, it is. Because I say this. I look better at 58 than I did at 48. Because because I've lost 140 pounds. That's a whole nother talk show.
Okay.
I look better today, and it's my plan to look better at 68 than I do today.
Come on now.
Come on. Come on.
Come on now. Yes, I love it. It's that internal work
Come on.
showing itself on the outside.
It sure do.
So you asked me the word pause and where did it come from? Probably, it was in the middle of the pandemic. So 4 years ago? I was in a meeting and we were moving, right? During the pandemic, everybody was just moving. We're trying to figure this thing out. And someone in the meeting said, sometimes there's just power in the pause. Like, we got to stop for a minute. And that sat with me for years. And I just kept repeating it to myself, that there is power in the pause. And, God has a way of showing us things slowly. And so I didn't know why that stayed with me, but it did. And the book, I'll tell you how the book came about later, but the book came about, and as I was thinking about the book and what I'd been through in my life, pause started to show up. And I didn't know that for years it had been there. And so, the power of the pause, that's how the name of the book came up. That is really the word pause, and the framework that's built around the word pause came from really me not even recognizing the pauses in my life and what a profound effect they had had on my ability to move forward.
Wow. Okay, so let's start from the beginning.
Okay.
Where you from?
I am a Detroit girl, born and bred.
Through and through.
Born and bred, yes. I am also your Cass Tech sister. Yep.
What?
Mm-hmm.
We have a fellow.
We got a technician in the house, class of 1991.
I can't even believe 1991. I had my master's degree in 91. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I feel so old. This weekend we celebrated 40 years. This weekend was our 40th year class reunion. So I got Cass Tech everywhere. I had these green pants on yesterday.
Yes. So my mother is from Ohio. She's not from Detroit. And she always says, I don't get it. She
I know
said,
other people
from
places don't.
Cass, they go all over the world and do all kind of things, and then they say, I'm a graduate of the Cass Technical High School.
Yes.
And I said, yes, absolutely. Yes. I am a technician.
I am a technician through and through. I am. So, yes. CT. So you went to, what middle school? What elementary school?
I went to Greenfield Peace Lutheran for middle school.
Okay.
And in elementary school, I kind of bounced around a lot.
Okay.
I spent most of my elementary career, though, at Verner Elementary.
Okay, yeah.
Right
Verner.
at Pembroke and between Tracy and Lejeune.
Yeah, she a Detroiter, y'all.
Yeah.
Then college.
I graduated with my bachelor's from Oakland University.
Okay.
Yeah. Master's from Wayne State.
Okay.
And then my doctorate from Lawrence Tech.
Lawrence Tech, that means she's smart. You're smart when you go to Lawrence Tech. Any title that has the word tech in it. Oh, my God. Like Cass Tech. I'm sorry.
Yes. I will tell you, though, that was a very unique experience. I was the only female.
Okay.
And only black person in the cohort.
Wow.
And I kept being told, you need to hurry up. You need to hurry up. I said, well, I'm sorry, but I read right here. I had 7 years. So when we get to 6 years, 364 days, if I haven't finished, let's talk about it.
Then we could talk about it.
But my life is very different than those in my cohort.
Exactly. Oh, my God. Yes. I remember we have similar journeys. I got my undergrad at Eastern and then my master's degree in 10 months at Wayne State. I did the advanced standing program. So I remember starting the program and going, they're going to give me a whole degree in 10 months? I just remember going, really? Wow. Okay, and so then my first PhD, which means I have more than one, which is kind of crazy, but from
it's not crazy at all.
Capella University in organizational psychology, and then the second from Regent University, which is a Christian-based school, which when I read the thing about strategic leadership, I felt like it was written for me.
Yeah.
So I was so excited about it. Oh my God, it was just exciting. And so
having two PhDs is not crazy at all. I won't even look to my right where my husband is to say that I've been considering another because he might fall out of that chair.
Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Look at his eyes. Ooh. Well, I'm going to say this. And one of the things that I do, I get certified in something new every year.
Okay.
So I have was probably about 35 different certifications.
Well, the reality is we can't stop learning.
I just like information. Yeah. So because I'm a speaker and a trainer, I like knowing things that I can certify other people in. So I don't just get trained in it. I get trained as a trainer of trainers, so then I can go and train other people.
Yes.
And certify in it. So that's just a thing that
What's the point of the knowledge if you don't share it?
I know. I love sharing information. And so I do things that don't have nothing to do with what I got my degrees in. So now my newest thing is AI.
I love it. I love it. So
AI is my new thing. I'm going to get certified as a trainer of trainers for AI, specifically for people in business, because I went to a training and the person said that most people are afraid of AI. And they're afraid of AI because they feel like AI is going to replace humans. But she had such a great quote. She had, AI is never going to replace humans, but humans with AI is going to replace those without it. I was like, oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. I got you. You ain't got to tell me no more. So I love information.
As the world continues to evolve and develop, we've got to evolve and develop with it. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You can't, if you don't understand it, how do you utilize, or how do you argue against it? Oftentimes, I hear people argue against things that they don't even understand.
You don't even know, so why are you even talking? Be quiet.
Be quiet.
I do. I say be quiet because I say this. It's so funny. On my timeline on my Facebook page today came up a memory of me on my old, I used to have a radio show, and I was on from 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. And I was talking about the release of the movie, I think it was 67, about the riots here in Detroit, and that people were angry because the director was a white woman. And so the station had a release, and we had, we filmed live. And so someone called in to say, well, I'm never going to see the movie, and because of white, and I says, well, we don't have anything to discuss because I've seen the movie. So I have a vantage point that you'll never have. So how are we going to debate something if we're not at least on the same, we both have seen it, so if you saw it and you had a viewpoint about a white woman doing it, then yeah, we can debate it. But you've never seen it.
Right.
So I have a vantage point that you don't have.
You have to understand the things you're talking about.
You have to understand the things, even if I don't agree, because people have a right to their viewpoint, but we at least got to see some of the same things.
Yes, and so we're going to keep him off camera. He said he's not camera ready. But my husband and I had this conversation. I said, I don't understand how people have such an opinion about being a black woman when they're not. You can't understand it when you're not.
Let me say this. I'll take it just a step further. I'm a single mother of a black male. And there were things that he asked me that I never even attempted to answer because I don't know, because I'm not a black male. Even as fair. A little child, he was 4. I tell this story all the time. He gets mad at me, but I say at 4, he came in my room one morning and he says, Ma, what does it mean when your private part gets real strong? I said, I don't know, because I don't have one. So you need to call your papa.
Yeah.
So I called my dad. I said, your grandson about to call you and ask you about his body parts, because I don't know. I can't answer. So I am a firm believer in staying in your lane.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with being curious about the things that you don't know. You ask questions, you be curious, but you can't be an expert in some things. Like, if you're not a black woman, you can't be an expert in the black woman experience. Now, you can learn about it. You can become educated about it. You can become an advocate for black women, but you will never have the full experience. I'll never have the experience you just had, right? My boys are grown, so I won't have that. I don't know what it was like for you. I can ask questions. I can be curious. I can educate myself. but I won't have the lived experience. Lived experiences are powerful.
It does do something for you. Okay, so what is your PhD in?
In business.
Oh.
Yep. And I wrote my
business.
dissertation on mentorship.
Mentorship.
It is
so let's
about-
talk about mentorship for a minute.
Yes.
Because when I say that's the number one thing, no, that's probably the number two thing that I get asked. Oh, people
What's
ask
the
me all the
number
time. The number one thing is, can I get them on Fox 2?
Oh, okay.
Can you get me? I'm having an event. Can you get me on Fox 2? I'm having something. Can you get me on Fox 2? First of all, I'm not a PR person, marketing person, or advertising person. That's not what I do. When Fox 2 calls me, they call me for me.
Yes, and you show up.
And I show up because I do what I do. And so I have my own segment, but because I understand, because people know that I have relationship. But what I've learned is, this is so good. When God gives you access, sometimes you can't take everybody with you through the door that he's given you access through. So the analogy that I use is that everybody can come into the hotel and stand in the lobby, but you need access to get to a floor. You can't bring everybody in the lobby.
Everybody's not prepared for the access.
They can't come. And sometimes, I'll say when God gives you the vision, he doesn't give it to you on a conference call. He gives it to you. And so it's your responsibility to write the vision and make it plain so them that read it can run with it. And the first person that's got to be able to read it is you. And so when I tell you, this has been a huge lesson for me, because I am the queen of, come on. And then you get there and the people aren't ready, and then it negatively impacts you.
Yes.
Because you were the one who gave the access. So people are looking at you because they know I gave you the access, and this is what you bring to the table. So I don't.
Well, let me say this. Also, sometimes because you have access, you know that people, and I'm not saying this about Fox 2, just in general, you have access, so you know that what they're asking for is not even on the other side of that door.
Right.
That's not really what they want.
That ain't what they want.
Or it would be negative for them to have access. It would not be a positive experience for them. And people often don't understand that sometimes it is not about denying you access. It is, I went through that door and I'm trying to save you from going through it and falling in that pit that I fell in.
That's so good.
Because you see, often what you see on the outside
is not
what's going on the inside.
Not at all.
Yes.
Not at all. But I will say this. The whole word mentor, what does that mean?
For me, a mentor, I call them cheat codes.
Okay.
It's someone who has already experienced what it is that you're trying to experience, and they can help you. They can teach you the shortcuts. They can teach you the way to get there. But you got to know what you want out of a mentor.
So if I hate to ask this question, but I know I don't. Are mentors free?
So, no. Mentors are not free. They may be free from a monetary perspective, but you got work you got to put in to get to mentors. Coaches aren't free.
Okay.
But I think you can mentor. So I mentor people for free if you're talking strictly monetary. But if you're talking about the work that goes into it, absolutely not. I'm not going to spend my time mentoring somebody that's not spending time putting in the work that they need to put in.
So this is okay. This is good, because that's like I said, I think that's the number 2 question I get.
Will you mentor me?
Will you mentor me? Mm-hmm. And I speak all over the world, so I meet people everywhere. And if I said yes to everyone who asked, I would never have time to do anything, because there's so many people that come at me that want to be mentored, which is flattering. That's nice, and I agree. But I cannot say yes to everybody.
Absolutely not. And because people ask me that all the time, and my response usually is, "Tell me what it is you're looking for in a mentor." if you can tell me what it is you're looking for in a mentor, then I can tell you if I'm the person, or I can at least point you in some directions to go, because you're
That's
right.
good.
We can't mentor.
You can't mentor everybody.
Now, I can coach you if you want to get in one of my group coaching sessions, but then we're just going to follow this plan, right? That's laid out, and you will have the results that you're looking for. But I can't mentor everybody.
Yeah.
And you can't either.
Oh,
but
no,
yeah,
I
people
can't.
ask, and I think it is because in a lot of educational programs and a lot of leadership programs, a lot of articles you read, they will tell you you need a mentor.
You need a mentor. You need a mentor.
But they're not telling you how to get a mentor or why you need a mentor.
Are you familiar with George Fraser?
No.
George Fraser has a conference called the Power Networking Conference, and he is the networking guru. He
Okay.
really is. Older black man. He's probably Dr. Fraser may be hitting on 80.
Okay.
Yeah, about 80. But he a beast. But one of the things that he says, whenever someone asks him to mentor them, he has an assignment for them. And the assignment is to read a particular book. He says out of 500 people that he's given that assignment to, only 2 has come back
That would have been my guess.
that
one or
have
two.
read the book.
Yep.
Wow. Wow.
Because people don't really want a mentor, because a mentor requires you to do work. People want somebody to do the work for them and then sit them in the spot.
And they want it for free. That's my thing, is that you want everything that I've worked for and what's in my head for free. Can I ask you a question? Well, asking me a question is, I could change a person's life in 15 minutes. If you give me 15 minutes, if you talk to me for 7 minutes about what your issues are, then give me another 7. We'll be.
That's powerful.
So my son told me a while ago. My son's 31 now, but my son said, you should do this thing called 15 Minutes with Bree. And you have to go on my website and you pay, I think it's $99, and you set up a 15-minute session. And what's so crazy, I hate to even say it out loud, but the only people who signed up for it were white people. Was white people. Or foreign, or like I had an Asian guy, Indian guy, but they came immediately. I was tripping. I was like, y'all gonna pay me $99
for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, because that was my thinking. But then he said, Ma, do you realize all the stuff you can say in 15 minutes?
Yeah. I believe in sharing, though. I do think that, to your point, I spent a lot of money on these degrees. I'm still spending money on these degrees. I'm hoping for some student loan forgiveness, but spent a lot of money on these degrees. And over 20 years of experience that I spent a lot of blood, sweat, and tears getting. And so it was not free. And to that point, I deserve, just like you deserve and any other professional deserves, to be compensated for all that we have gained. I do think that sharing is, it's a principle that I live by.
I share on Fox too.
Yes, right. I was just getting ready to say,
every single week you can get it.
Yep, I was getting there.
Oh.
I think that sharing is important.
Sharing is caring.
But you go, Dr. Sabrina, here's what I would guess. I could be wrong, but you tell me. I would guess if somebody came and they said, hey, I've been watching you on Fox 2. I saw this, I saw that. I've read these books. I've been to this, I've been to that. I'm really impressed. This is what I need in my life. This is the work that I've been doing. I just have one question.
Oh, yeah.
Make 15 seconds. Could you answer it? And you would answer that question and never even think about it.
Without question.
It's the people that just run into you, have no idea who you are, what you've done, anything, and then they're just like, hey, can I sit down and talk to you? Like, well, maybe.
Maybe not.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
This is the thing that I've learned. This is another thing that I get from, I'm very intentional about the people that I allow to speak into my life. So, of course, I have mentors. Of course, I have people that pour into me. And so I have a mentor who's a beast. He's a pastor. He's just an incredible human being. But he said something to me a couple of months ago. He said, Sabrina, you can't be on the first floor and the 10th floor at the same time. When God has elevated you to the 10th floor, there's things on the 10th floor that you need to be engaged in. But if you're not engaged at the 10th floor and you keep going back and doing stuff on the first floor like a first floor participant, what?
So I think that the jewel in that is like a first floor participant. It's fine to go to the first floor and bring people up to the 10th floor, but when you go, my dad used to say, not my dad, my granddad used to say, when a lady walks in the room, the atmosphere should change.
It should shift.
It should shift.
Yes.
And so I believe when a leader walks in the room, the atmosphere should shift. If you are, to use your analogy, if you are a 10th floor person and you walk onto the first floor, the atmosphere should shift. You should not shift to be a part of that atmosphere. And you should bring people along with you and teach them and learn. And shifting that atmosphere, they should be able to learn, because when you were there, somebody came and helped to shift that atmosphere for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right, and
absolutely,
so that's just about giving back.
Giving back is absolutely necessary. I think that's why I have a nonprofit. That's why I do what I do with girls. However, I think that, and I'll say this about us, sometimes we're expecting people that look like us to just give to us without us doing anything to put something in. So I always say, when I start to speak, the first thing I say is, in order to get something out of something, you have to be willing to put something in. And that willingness is like to your point. Do you have a plan? Do you know what you can't just show up and don't have and just want somebody to just, because we have this thing about entitlement, and that people are entitled to just like suck all the life out of you, and then get mad at you if you say, well, no, I can't do that, because there are some things that I cannot do. And not just that I can't do them, I don't even want to do them.
It's okay, though. Here's what I believe. I believe that the right people come into your life when they should. And those people that are angry, I've had people get angry at me and walk away, and years later they come back and they realize, you were right. You were right. So you have to be okay with that. As long as your intentions are pure, as long as you feel like you are going down the path that God has led you down, and you're not mistreating anybody.
Oh yeah,
that's their issue to deal with, right? I believe that I give so much that I'm okay saying, no, I can't give this. That's what led to the book, is me just giving and giving and giving to a point that you empty yourself. And you don't fill yourself back up, because you can't pour from an empty cup. Mm-hmm. So when you were, so what are you doing right this moment? Talking to you. No, I'm just kidding. Right this moment, I am publicizing the book, of course, doing some consulting, and also getting ready to hit the speaker circuit. Yes. So have you joined? First speech in October. Are you joining the Speakers Association? Yep. I joined the Black Speakers Network. Okay. I will be speaking with Sean Fair in the Leadership Experience Tour in October. Good friends. Yep. And then I have some things that I can't talk about just yet that I'll be doing in December. Okay. And so things are good. The momentum is picking up. I love momentum. Yes. I always say this about the speaking industry. There's two sides to it. It's the skill set necessary to be a effective speaker on a stage, but then it's the business of speaking.
And most people don't know the business of speaking. They'll start the speaking, but they don't know that there's 7 levels to the speaking industry to understand which level you're at, and then what things will hinder you and keep you at that level, and then what things do you need to do to move to the next level. So I I remember the first time I went to the National Speakers Association conference. I felt like, oh my God, these are my people. Oh my, they're talking my language. When I tell you, I felt like, I just felt like I was at home with the people because of the discussions and the things that they were challenged with were things that I was challenged with. And so the National Speakers Association is quite different than any other speakers association. It just is. I like the Black Speakers Network. I like that because I like when we can get together with us. But I also like a broader spectrum because I don't just speak to Black people. I speak to all people. Yep. So that's just joining the speaker's world. It's a wonderful world to be in.
So you mentioned that people don't understand the business of speaking. I find that with business in general.
Oh, my God, yes.
And I've encouraged, so I have young adults. My children are 24, 19. Today is my daughter's birthday. She's
Happy
19.
birthday!
Happy birthday, Naya Joy.
Naya Joy.
Yes, and tomorrow is my son's birthday. He'll be 16.
You had birthday
I did.
babies.
Happy birthday, Emory Jordan. So, but I've encouraged them because they have the entrepreneurial bug.
Okay.
And what I've encouraged them to do is to continue their education, not because I don't believe in their ability to be great in the things that they've chosen to do, but because there is a business behind it.
Yes.
You have to understand how to run that business. It is not just renting a place and hanging a sign outside at all. And that's what a lot of us think. And so I think that's important as well.
I think the other thing, and I'm sure you can attest to this, being a blue personality, she took the test, Josh. She's a blue-green. And blue people love people. That's why she was giving till she done gave out. That's a blue thing. But it's the thing about business, I feel like when we go to these conferences and networking events and trainings that we learn all these things about business, the money, but we don't do a good job at teaching about customer service.
Oh my goodness.
We don't do a good job about teaching about the people principle of business. Is how do you treat people? One, how do you treat yourself? Because if you're not good to you, you are not going to be good to other people. You're just not. You're gonna wear out. You're gonna have to lay down. You're gonna have to. If you don't take a pause is going to be put on you.
It's going to take you.
Ooh.
So, oh goodness. People don't understand. People do buy products, but what keeps them coming back is the experience.
Yes.
Because I can literally get anything you have someplace else.
Someplace else.
Anything.
Anything. Everything.
It is the experience that I'm coming back for.
I love the experience.
So, and so many people, oh my goodness, I think COVID did a number on us with that as well. Because I walk into places now and I'm appalled. It
was so funny. I sent my aunt. I'm the person in the family that everybody calls when they want to find some place to go eat, because I'm the foodie. I know.
That's my husband. He's the foodie.
I'm the foodie. So my aunt had told me about, she had company from out of town, and she called me and she says, well, you've been talking about this soul food place that you've been going. Where is it? And so I told her, and she went, and she didn't call me. And when she didn't call me, I knew her experience wasn't good. Mm-hmm. So when I talked to her, she says, well, the first thing is when I walked in, I was standing there, and there was a lady sitting there, but she was in her phone and never looked up. She never looked up.
Yep.
Get off your phone. Okay. Just please get off your phone. Then she said that, so a man came from behind her. This girl's still sitting there on the phone, just on the phone.
Yes.
And he comes and runs up and so she asked for the owner because I told her to ask for the owner, let her you're my auntie. He said, oh yeah, she here, but she in the back. You didn't. If someone is asking, and I understand you're busy, I understand. She could say, oh, just give us a minute. I'll get her for you. Just nothing. So her experience was horrible.
I am more likely, and I think most people are, to pay more.
Oh, I will.
And to come back for something that I don't enjoy as much if I can get service. If I absolutely love your food and I hate your service, I'm not coming back. I might try you a second time and then I'm done because I work too hard for my money. I'm not spending it in a place where I don't get service.
Oh my God, and then these places have all these weird rules, all these new rules. Like what? Like we won't sit you if your whole party not here. Well, it's only 3 of us and 2 of us here. We can't sit and have coffee. Well, we believe that we want to make sure that you're spending money. Okay, so first of all, I come here all the time. Yeah. Every single time I come, I bring people. When have I ever not spent money? Right. You know I'm spending money.
It's
offensive. Oh, I'm sorry.
It is. It's very offensive, but I think it starts very early. So we were talking about being technicians. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And in that school, there is a culture that is instilled in you to be proud of being a technician. Mm-hmm. Right? You don't adorn the green and white with the CT if you don't have that pride, but it's installed in you. And I think we have to start to instill those things in our children very young so that they know about service. You teach them not to accept less than service, but you also teach them to provide service. I had an experience last school year, and it saddened me to watch how the teacher treated me. And she wasn't like horrible, but I went to observe. She never really addressed me. She just kind of opened the door. She never told the children in the classroom why I was there. So now this strange woman is just sitting there. When I got ready to leave, I thanked her for allowing me to observe the class and told her I really enjoyed it. And she said, bye. How do we expect our children to do better when that's the experience leadership that they have? So I think it starts very early. It
starts very early.
I teach my children, you do not settle for less, to the point that they would probably tell you that I've embarrassed them at times. And I wasn't being rude, but they would just say, let it go. No, I'm not letting it go. I spent my money. I'm going to get what I asked for. And I'm always tactful when I do it, but I'm going to get what I asked for. I don't know how we ended up here, but yes.
But no, because I said that we in business, we're not teaching customer service. And so my son is he rang the bell last week at Chick-fil-A. He's going to be opening up his own store.
Nice.
And one of the things that I know about Chick-fil-A's culture is that first, their purpose statement is to glorify God first. So in their culture, it is a culture of connecting with what the scriptures say about being in business and how you treat people and how you treat each other, how they treat each other on a team, how they treat their customers. And so one of the things that they say all the time, whenever you go to a Chick-fil-A and you say, well, thank you, they say, it's my pleasure.
Or I believe, don't quote me, but I believe they say, welcome to Chick-fil-A. How may I amaze you today?
Yes, how may I amaze you?
How may I amaze you?
And when you
today?
say thank you, it's my pleasure. So much so that my son now, if I say, man, come over and do such and such for me, and he'll say, it's my pleasure. And I'll go, thank you, Chick-fil-A. Thank you, because I didn't teach him that, but thank you.
It goes to show just how quickly things can be kind of placed inside of us.
Instilled inside of you, absolutely.
as of late, my husband has been saying to me, 1 second. And I said, do you realize what you're doing? But he had some experiences where he was saying to people, 1 second. And then he started saying it at home. And I'm like, you don't have to one second.
You don't have to 1 second me at home. 1 second me,
right. But very quickly, things get taught to us. So it is important. Just kind of the environments that we allow ourselves to be in, and because you're going to start responding based on that environment.
Oh my God, that's so important. And so it's interesting because I haven't been a big corporate inside of the corporate. You know, I haven't done a lot of that. I have worked to train people in corporate America. McDonald's has been a client for years, hospitals, governments, all that. So I see the corporate stuff, but I haven't myself sat in the seat because I don't ever want a job. I've been working for myself since 1995.
Wow.
It was the best decision that I've ever made. And so that's what has allowed me to travel and to do the things that I do. And so when COVID happened and, you know, everything shut down. And I was sitting at home and I was like, oh man, how am I going to pay my rent? They gonna want their money. The mortgage people DTE want their money. They want their money. And so I had somebody call me and says, well, Sabrina, you got all those degrees. Go get a job. And I said, why do you want to cuss at me? By telling me to go get a job. Because when I quit the last job I had, which was in 1995, I quit it because someone asked me to come and speak someplace, and I had to ask for permission. And if they told me no, you mean I can't go make money? That didn't make any sense to me. So I quit. They loved me, but I quit. And it was the best decision that I've ever made. And so I know that there are people designed for the corporate space, and there's people that's designed not for the corporate space, but
absolutely. But
some of the very things that you're teaching in The Power of the Pause is for both spaces.
Yes.
It's not just for the corporate space, because I was reading it, and you know, you talk about your corporate experience and helping, but there's those of us who aren't in that space but still need the power of the pause.
It's about a life space.
Yes.
Right. So my experience in the corporate world was not all bad.
Okay.
At all. Right. I don't want anyone to walk away and think that it just wasn't bad. You know, overall, it wasn't bad at all. I had great experiences throughout, but I also had experiences that truly sat with me. They truly drained me. Listen, I had great people that I worked for. The last job that I had, I left. I had an amazing boss. Like it wasn't solely the boss, right? She was amazing, but it was the experiences that I had leading up to that I didn't take time to take care of me. And so I don't care how great the job is that you're in. If you haven't cared for yourself, you can't even experience it in a way that is advantageous to you.
It's interesting that you give that analogy, because I remember I think I was coming home from Paris. So whenever I'm on a long flight, I watch movies, and I watched Rocket Man.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Oh my God. I love Elton John's story.
Okay.
I love his story. One, because he can hear. He's trained, but before he ever got trained, he could hear. And so when he went to it was a school, a music school, and they invited him to come and do a audition. When he got there, he was just sitting listening to the lady who was going to do his audition play. She was playing.
Okay.
And she says, okay, so what are you going to play? Did you bring a piece? He said, I didn't know to bring a piece. And she said, well, okay, play something. And he played exactly what she had played. And then immediately stopped. And when he stopped, she says, "Why did you stop?" He said, "Because that's when you stopped." I almost ran out the thing.
Oh.
What? It was amazing. But the other piece is that he became so, he was such a machine at what he did, and he was so awesome. And so he's filling arenas and all of these things. And so the people that were working for him really stopped working for him, and they began to dictate to him. So in their mind, I don't care how you feeling, you got to be on that. We gonna be at Madison Square Garden. We've sold out. You got to be on stage. And so if he wasn't feeling good, if he was sick or he was sad, they would drug him to make him be able to perform. Because at the end of the day, when you are the thing and the people around you eat because of you,
you will make it happen.
Oh my God, it was so powerful.
It's no longer about the person,
right?
And it becomes about the creation.
Yes.
I was just watching a clip, which I'm sure many of you have seen in this political environment that we're in, where someone talks about how they don't like that Simone Biles is being congratulated or celebrated for stepping away and taking care of herself. They feel that it was her weakest moment.
Oh my God.
In fact,
it was her
strongest
moment.
It was her pause.
Yes.
Right? And we don't do enough of it. I spent my life trying to live up to the expectations of others. And you have to stop it. You are a person, not a
machine.
Yeah, not a machine, but not this fictional character.
Right.
When you read the book, I gave her a name. I call her She.
Okay.
Right.
Hey,
and
She.
She is just the other person who was me, but when I hear you talk about Elton John, right, the gifts and talents are there,
so
but then
talented.
you just start spinning out of control.
Yes,
almost. You're using those gifts and talents, but you're just spinning.
And then what was so sad? This was so sad. The person who was his manager at the time, which was also his significant other, because but he attempted suicide. And when they got him and they had him on the gurney and they were rushing him out to take him to the hospital, the guy said to him, "You're so selfish." Can you imagine? I felt so sad for him that he didn't have people around him who just loved him.
There's so many like that.
And I know, and so I am so, because my brand at this point in my career is me. I am the brand. Mm-hmm. And so I have people around me who will say, "You got to be here, you got to be on for this, you got to do this, we're doing this with this, we're doing that with that." But I am so blessed, and I almost want to cry, but I'm so blessed that I have people that say, "You're not doing that today. You're not going. If we got to cancel, you canceling. You gotta take time for you. You gotta have self-care, and you gotta just woosah for a minute and go and lay on the beach or go and have a moment with your significant other. Get it in on a regular basis too. I'm just saying.
So
it's beneficial to the body.
So
the soul.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dr. Sabrina, I want you to know there's a part in the book where I talk about sitting in my car. Because that was the place where I found just quiet, right? And I was trying to process everything that was happening. Since the book has been released, I literally have lost count of the number of people that tell me, "I just sit in my car."
Come on.
I just sit in my car. There are so many people on a daily basis walking into environments where they are surrounded by people, but they are alone. They are alone. And I need them to know that they are not alone.
You're never alone.
They are not
You're never alone. You're
right?
never alone.
And it was, I know we're wrapping up here, so I do just want to make this point, and I'm sure you will appreciate it. I think everybody needs a therapist in their life. Every single person.
Not me.
Okay. Not Dr. Sabrina, but everybody needs a therapist in their life. I am the product of two preachers.
Ooh.
And so I understand.
PK kid. PK kid time
twice.
two.
Yes. So I
PK
understand.
kid time two.
But I also understand sometimes you just need somebody that understands how the brain works.
Yes.
And can help you. And while God gave us medical doctors, he also gave us doctors to help us with our mental and emotional health.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Where can people find you and where can they find the book?
Yes, the book is everywhere. So if you want an autograph copy, you got to go to drebonystone.com.
Yes, go there.
Yes.
Go there. Just don't even tell them everywhere. Don't even tell them any place else, because I know that when they come to you to get your book, you get the money for it.
Very true.
And so I tell people, I cut out the middleman.
Appreciate that. But
Go to
I also,
her from here.
I also want to say
Go
this.
here.
In the space that I was in before I started writing, I didn't have time to read a book. So I also recorded an audiobook.
Oh, you can do the audiobook too.
Yes.
Is it on Audible?
It's on Audible. Yes.
Okay, good. Audible.
Yes.
Do Audible too. Because if you like to listen like I do, I'm going to download the Audible today.
And it's my voice.
It's her voice. That's good.
Yes,
That's
was
good.
fun.
That's good. That's good. How long did it take you to do it?
It took me a week, but I found out after that people don't do that. It usually takes about 5 to 6 weeks, but I didn't know. I was doing something new, so I just went in like, hey, we got to get this done.
Yeah,
and
that's
later
how I
she
am.
told
I
me,
don't have much time. I need to do, I got 2 books I need to do, turn them into audiobooks.
I got you, Dr. Sabrina.
I need to.
We need to talk about that. But
Okay,
if you
I need to.
Looking for me, I was like, I can't give people all these handles and all these websites. So there's one place you can go and you can get it all.
Okay.
And it is wrote by, WROTEBY.me, /Ebony Stone. Every
Wrote
link
by
you
me.
need is there.
Wrote by me. Dr. Ebony Stone. When I tell you this, your name sounds like you're a rock star.
Thank you.
Dr. Ebony Stone in the building.
Yes, Mr. Stone often reminds me. He gave me the name.
He gave you the name.
He gave me the last
He gave
name,
you
though.
the
I'll let
last
him
name.
know. My mama gave me that first name.
Look, I get it from my mama.
Yes.
I know,
love
I'm
it.
so crazy. I want to thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you
This
for
has
having
been
me.
an
It's been
amazing discussion. I absolutely love the whole thing about taking a pause. You have to take a pause. You have to sit down, because when you're busy giving and pouring and you don't take time to pour back into, you're pouring from an empty cup. And and the word tells you that my cup runneth over. But my cup never runs over for me, because I'm only going to consume what's inside my cup. So I have to take the time to refill my cup.
Yes.
So then I do have the overage to help everybody else and to do what I do for everybody else. So self-care is not a recommendation. It's a requirement.
I love it.
Do something good for yourself and say something good to yourself about yourself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Stone. And we'll be back with you next Monday, same time, same program. Tell your friends right here at Speaking Life with Dr. Sabrina.
Bye, everybody.
How do we win if I'm always winning?
Right.
I know all I do is win.
No matter what.
No matter what.
It's essential.
I win when we win.
Go ahead, Dr. Sabrina.
Yeah, right from the beginning, she had a vision. It was a daily elevation for essential living. That's that good intention. All you gotta do is listen. Creating magic during uncertainties be the mission. Dr. Sabrina Jackson, serving God must be a passion. Cause being a better person begins with daily practice. Love is the attitude, that's what we gotta do. Mental Health Mondays on Fox News in Detroit, that's Channel 2. Look us up, baby. Gon' do your research from Cass Tech to Eastern. Yeah, we been in it for a minute. We been winning.